So I don't own these brands, but if I were to, these are probably the items that I would go for. Plus, help me decide between a couple of variations of one bag from a brand I do not own from that I'm really interested in. I'd love your opinion. Hello, and the warmest of welcomes to today's video. For those of you who haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Nick, fab to have you here. Those of you who have seen my face before, thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you're enjoying my videos. I put out videos roughly 3 times a week on a range of different topics, anywhere from fashion to slightly more personal topics. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then please do head down, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I love jazzing with you all. I'm all about living life loud, and what that means to me is being your authentic self, being proud to be you, and just celebrating who you are. Celebrating yourself, and of course, celebrating others. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about 5 bags that I would buy from 5 brands that I don't already own. Now, I'm sure this has probably already been a video, a tag, something along those lines over the years, who knows at this point. But the reason I was thinking about this was because I did the tag recently about 5 brands I wouldn't buy from. And I thought, okay, that's quite interesting. So those are 5 brands I wouldn't buy from and I've never bought from. But what are brands that I would buy from, and therefore what would I buy from them? That was a lot of uses of the word from, wasn't it? So I was just having a little think about it and curious, particularly as I was recently in Harvey Nicks. I was in Harvey Nicks in Edinburgh, and I've never been drawn to Bottega. And I was in Bottega in Harvey Nicks, and oh my word, some of the pieces were fabulous. Particularly, they had this fabulous table of sale items. There were a lot of like mini Jodies, etc., cassette bags, padded cassette, chain cassette, and there was a suede turquoise teal. I know those are 2 different colours, but I always get mixed up as to which is which. I think it was teal. Chain cassette with the gold hardware, and it was reduced by £1,300. So it was so it starts off at 3.2. I think it was 1.9. To say I was tempted is an understatement, but then I thought, that's £1,900, what are you using it for? It was a great deal, but also the hardware looked worse for wear. I'll insert a photo of the bag itself, but it was gorge, and the price was really good. And they had some kind of mini Jodies for, you know, £1,000 or so. They had some patent ones, etc. Some slightly more obscure pieces, but of course those will be the ones that hit the sale. But anyway, it got me thinking about those kind of brands that I would buy a piece from, but what is it that I would buy? So let's get into it. Bottega does not feature on this list. That was a little bonus mention for you, because actually, in fairness, I did look, off the back of it, I did look at Bottega, and I thought, okay, what could be interesting? And there wasn't anything particularly that I found interesting. That teal bag was really kind of the top of the chain. They don't do a lot with pink, and I wish they would do more with pink. Anyway, moving on. First brand, Moschino. I've talked about wanting to get into Moschino more, and the bag that I would buy from Moschino is the Napa leather biker bag, and I particularly love it in this purple. I just find this really fun. I'm a flat bag person. I love a flat bag. I own many, as you can see, mainly from Kurt Geiger, but I would definitely explore new brands. And this, I think, is just a really great fun piece. They do it in the purple with the gold hardware. Gold hardware is not my fave, but against the purple, I think it works really well. The price point of Moschino, I don't think is terrible. They often hit a 50% off sale as well, so you can go for kind of a £500, £600 price reduction on some of these pieces. I wish they had an outlet at Bicester. They don't, but I'm really hoping they add one at some point, because I would really like to get more into the brand. Maybe I just need to take the plunge and order something and go for it. But out of their bags, this is the one. I did also like their kind of tote shopper sort of style bags, but Moschino's all about having fun, and those to me didn't feel fun enough. Whereas this, I think, really epitomizes their whimsical aesthetic. Next up, Saint Laurent. And Saint Laurent is an interesting one for me, because I sometimes find it to be a little bit of a snooze fest, and I'm sure that the bags are beautifully made, etc. The quality looks really good. They look very expensive. I just sometimes find them a little bit dull. But if I were to go for a Saint Laurent bag, because I do like a fair few of them, I would go for a Rive Gauche. My perfect Rive Gauche keeps bouncing in and out of the outlet, and it's a highlighter pink Rive Gauche. But it's reduced by like 15% versus RRP. So for an outlet, it's pretty abysmal in terms of the price point. Anyway, I do really like it. But I do also really love the kind of black on black Rive Gauche because it is just simple, it's effective. I could see myself using this a fair amount if I were to buy one. I love the size of it. It would be great for work. It would be great for day. It would be great for travel. I use big bags on a regular basis. So for me, that wouldn't be a problem. It would get a huge amount of use, and they're about half the price of a Dior book tote. Now, aesthetically, the Dior book totes are more intricate, so I can see why the price point is different, but I just quite like the simplicity of this particular bag. I'd be okay with the fact that it is a little bit more simplistic, but that's okay. You go into it knowing that, but it's one that I could just see myself using and could kind of navigate multiple scenarios. So I would go for a Rive Gauche. I would love it if they brought them out in some slightly more vibrant variations, but at the moment, as the current collection sits, I would probably go for the all black variant because I just think it could do a lot. Now to Valentino, and Valentino is an interesting one because there are only very specific collections I like from Valentino. Of course, I love the pink that they have released recently. I think they're gorgeous. Love the tango pumps. I think they're fabulous. But the collection that I've always loved is the Spike collection. Or the kind of original rock stud spike. And I just love the much smaller, more intricate looking spikes opposed to the Roman studs. And I particularly love the medium spike bag. I think it's in a Napa leather in this beautiful shade of pink. This could be a great day bag, evening bag, crossbody, top handle, clutch. Beautiful, beautiful. It, for me, would be the perfect evening bag, and I could see myself getting so much use out of it. Nightmare to store, because a bag with spikes on it, absolute nightmare to store. The same when you've got something that's got glitter or rhinestones on it, because it's an abrasive surface. So particularly where you're trying to store something with an abrasive surface, it can be a bit more difficult. But for this bag, I would make it work. I would make an exception. I could make that thing pop. It's beautiful. It truly, truly is. And I know a lot of individuals say that the rock stud is done, it's passé. I mean, who cares at the end of the day? They're still making it, they're still bringing it out in new variations. You might not see it so much on the street, but that's great. Does that mean it's done? No, it just means that you've got something that's a little bit more unique in today's fashion. And what a great thing. If you love it, go for it. I certainly do. I certainly would. Would I buy this from the boutique? I'm not so sure. The reason being, they don't hold their value. So pre-loved, you can do quite well. But the problem is, pre-loved, they tend to be in pretty bad shape. So I would maybe look for a good outlet version of it and see if I could maybe get a discount that way. Because I have a feeling the structure of the bag just slouches and kind of crumples over time. So the fact that they're in quite bad shape on the resale market on a regular basis makes me think that's just maybe the age of the bag and the way it goes. So I'd like to start off with the best starting point I could. So maybe a good outlet find. They're in the £2,000 price range. It's a lot of money, but I think it's a beautiful piece. Next up, Fendi. And Fendi is another brand where I do really like the pieces, but in terms of my lifestyle and the way that I use bags and the types of bags I use, there aren't that many that hit the mark for me. Just because I couldn't see how I would utilize them. I love the baguette, for example. I just wouldn't use it. It doesn't work for me as a size or style of bag. I like the first. I actually needed to eat a bit crow with the first because I thought that was going to be a one-season wonder from Fendi, but it's really stood the test of time and it's grown on me significantly. Not that Fendi ever cared about my opinion, but yeah, that was what it was. But the peekaboo again is really nice. I would lean towards a peekaboo, but the piece from Fendi that always really grabs me is the Sunshine Shopper. I like this style of bag. I've spoken about it with the Rive Gauche. I like this style of bag. I love a big top handle, something that's kind of shopper style, but isn't necessarily designed to go on the shoulder. I love carrying a bag top handle, and I love a big bag. It's why I love, for example, my, Aspinall of London tote. I love my Rousseau. And these, I think, are bigger than those bags. I love my Celine kind of doctor bag. I love carrying these things top handle. And this I just find to be a really elegant, sophisticated, stunning piece. They brought it out in some beautiful variations. I love the tortoiseshell handle detailing. That's a really special aspect, that kind of perspex tortoiseshell. I love it in this blush pink. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. There are other variations that are very nice, but that soft pink is really pretty. I could see how I would work that into my wardrobe. I wear a lot of pastels. I combine pastel colors as well. The outfit I'm planning on wearing tomorrow has a pastel blue in the shirt, pastel green on the trouser. I'll wear a pastel pink blazer. So I could definitely pull something in. Or do I wear the pastel yellow and then use a pink bag? Maybe I'll wear pastel yellow and use a pink bag. We're going very kind of gumball machine here with the look. Pick and mix. Sweets, that's kind of where we're going. Ice cream, that's what I'm aiming for with this look. I love it, and this would be a great addition to it. The only thing is, would I use it more than, for example, I would use my Aspinall of London tote in pink? I don't know, but it's nice to have options, and this isn't something I'm looking to buy in the next 6 months, but it's more, if I were to buy from Fendi, what would I go for? Sunshine Shopper. It's great. And last but by no means least, I mentioned the Fendi first and how I needed to kind of eat a bit of crow, thinking that would be a one-season wonder. Now, there are variations of that style of bag that I prefer in the marketplace, and one of them comes from Bulgari, and it is the serpentine pouch. I think this is stunning. I really do. It's absolutely gorgeous. Love the variations it comes out in, love the mixture of materials that you can get. I particularly love the version that I'm showing you here, which has this much more plush material. It's got that beautiful snake detailing on the top. I just think it is absolutely glorious. £2,700. I mean, it's quite pricey, don't get me wrong, but Bulgari is a great brand. I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that's around the same as a Fendi First, if not a little bit less than a Fendi First. But they're both beautiful, but if I had to pick one, I would 100% go for this Bulgari version. I just love the softness of it, but then you've got that snake detailing. I think you can instantly tell where this is from. It doesn't need to have a logo for you to understand where this is from, because that serpent is such a pivotal part of the Bulgari brand. It's beautiful, and all of the different variations of this bag give you something different. It comes in a smaller size. I personally like this larger size, this kind of great clutch moment, very chic, very sophisticated, very beautiful. I believe it also does come with a kind of crossbody, long shoulder strap, so it's got a little bit more versatility. Would I be using this as a day bag running errands? No, I would be using it as the most glorious evening event bag. This and that Valentino spike that I showed you, wowza. Absolutely fab. What a great combination of bags to have to pick with different outfits. This could go with so much, that would go with so much. Oh, it would be glorious. I mean, you spent £5,000 in order to get those two pieces, but how beautiful, and items that you don't tend to see that many people with. And for me, I'm not put off by the popularity of something, because I think things are popular for a reason. However, if I can get something that is beautiful, great quality, and is maybe a little bit more rare out in the wild, I'm probably going to go for the thing that feels a little bit more rare. Even if the style of bag is more popular, I'll always go for the slightly more niche combination variation, just so that I feel like I've got something a little bit more exclusive and a little bit more personal to me. But it's absolutely beautiful. Now, just quickly, speaking of, evening bags, I actually use this for an evening, and it was great. I used it as a massive clutch. It was fun. It was a bit of a conversation starter, actually. A lot of people were asking me about it, and this is a Kurt Geiger XXL flat bag in black faux fur, and I just used it like so, and I loved it. I thought it was fabulous. So that worked out really well for me, because I know I mentioned that I was debating what I was going to use as my bag. That was what I ended up landing on, and I was very, very happy with it. But now let's talk quickly about a bag that I'm looking at buying, and I can't quite figure out the variation that I would like. And I would like your input, because I know a fair few of you have looked at these bags, owned these bags, currently own these bags, you know, so I would love your thoughts. I am looking at getting a Marc Jacobs tote bag. I know I'm a little bit late to the trend, but there has not been a colour so far that has really spoken to me. Now there is. They have brought it out in pink, and they've brought it out in this beautiful candy pink. And the Longchamp pink that they've released in their most recent collection, I saw it in the flesh, very nice, but didn't really speak to me. I've got nicer variations of that from Longchamp. So I thought, what could I look at? And I am looking at the Marc Jacobs instead. Now, there are 3 variations that I'm looking at. So you've got the kind of core canvas cotton one, which is £200. You've got the mesh, which is £280. And then you've got the leather, which is over £400. So a fair difference in terms of the price point, but if it means I get the right bag, I'm prepared to spend a little bit more for one that I would use rather than spending less on one that would just sit on the shelf. The one that I am leaning towards is the mesh, and this is at £280. The reason I like this is I love the idea of having a mesh bag. I don't have a mesh bag. I love the fact that it feels, the colour feels a little bit more kind of highlighter pink. I much prefer the strap on this one to the one that comes on the cotton bag. I'm also not such a fan of the thin strap on the leather. So just all in, I think it could work. And I'm someone who puts all of my items in pouches. So I wouldn't have an unsightly inside of my bag, because everything goes in a pouch. My laptop goes in a pouch, my cosmetics go in a pouch. Of course, you've got your phone, etc., but there are pockets for that sort of thing. My card holder could go in a pocket. So I could definitely keep this looking clean and tidy and organized inside my bag. Alternatively, you just buy an organizer, but that for me defeats the object of it. But I also do like this simple kind of original version, and for a couple of £100, I don't think it's a bad price point. It would fit my laptop. I would use it as in my work bag rotation. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. I worry that the leather and the kind of core cotton are maybe too similar to my Aspinall of London or my Longchamp Les Pliages queer bag. So maybe the mesh is the better option. The more I'm talking about it, the more that feels like something that I don't already have, or I don't have a variation of. It feels like it would add something to the collection rather than being a potential substitute for something else. Again, my Alexa. I use this actually a few times in the past sort of week, and I enjoyed this. So yeah. Maybe the mesh. But what do you think? Have you owned any of these? Do you recommend? For the price of the leather, I could have both probably the mesh and the kind of core cotton one. Okay, you spend a little bit more, but you get 2 bags. But I don't need to. So I'm thinking mesh, having talked this through. But I would love to know your thoughts. I appreciate your opinions. I appreciate all of your insights. I know a lot of you have bought these bags, so this is a genuine question because I am looking to buy one. I really do like them. I've talked about them before. I am just a bit stuck between the 3 materials, and it could go any which way. So please do let me know. I might go and check these out when I go into London in a couple of weeks' time to see, but that would be more to cement the feedback that I get from all of you. So I'm coming to you first. I'm looking for your opinion first and foremost, and then I can make a final decision once they're in front of me. But I would really love to know your thoughts. Anyway, thank you so much as always for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye now. Mwah.